The establishment does not want us taken seriously. They don't want anybody taken seriously. They don't want you coming on TV to talk about anything important. Poverty, healthcare, ending wars, black people reparations, closing the racial wealth gap. None of the serious shit that needs to be discussed will they give you a platform to talk about. Sometimes you gotta look at the person who's saying the thing and be sure that that person even needs a response, because sometimes people are crazy, man. You know what you're gonna do. Sometimes people are crazy. Case in point, Charles Barkley.
Yes.
Every time I see that open, Charles, I always say, I'm glad we get to do this show, don't you?
I love doing the show.
Never has Charles said anything, well, maybe once or twice, in like 30 years that Chuck said anything that made sense. Chuck just has always just said stuff. I'm going to say this. I'm going to see how far I get, Ernie. I'm going to say this crazy thing about black people. It's terrible what I'm going to say about black people. That was Chuck. Now they done mess around and gave Chuck a show. They let Chuck talk. Chuck is on TV threatening to beat up black people.
The mugshot, we've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible. You see black people walking around with my mugshot. You know, they do shirts.
When you heard that, what did you think? Big sigh.
First of
Big
all,
sigh.
I'm just going to say this. If I see a black person walking around with Trump mugshot, I'm going to punch him in the face.
Charles.
No, Gail.
Charles.
Gail.
You really can't say that because, A, you don't mean that.
Oh, I mean that sincerely. I'm going to just tell you something.
And then you will be arrested for assault. And then what?
I'm going to bail myself out and go celebrate.
Notice how Chuck doesn't say he's going to beat up white people. Notice how Chuck doesn't have the guts to say he'll beat up Latino people or Asian people. Only the blacks. Out of all groups, black people support Trump the least. You wouldn't think that's true. Nah, you would think, based on all the rhetoric I've been hearing from all these morons on MSNBC and CNN, even in Chuck, all the people they've been carting out, all these house Negroes they've been carting out, all these tap dancing Negroes to condemn black men who support Trump. We are the group of people that support him the least. That's how you know they're afraid. They even got Chuck running out the gate saying crazy stuff. Even Chuck. Have y'all seen the apology of Chuck? It wasn't really an apology. It was like, let me just clear it up. Let me clear it up, Ernie. Let me clear it up, Gail.
That say, I hear Charles Barkley's looking for me. They all think that you are ready to run around punching people who vote for Donald Trump. Now, I know when you say that, that was just you making a point. That's not something you would literally do, going around attacking people, right?
Well, let me say, is this my camera right there? I want to make sure people can hear me.
Yeah.
Number one, obviously, I'm not gonna go around punching random strangers in the face, first and foremost. Secondly, people can vote for who they want to.
Yes.
People can vote for who they want to. The point I was trying to make.
There you go.
No, the point I was making. I wasn't trying to make it.
Okay.
When Donald Trump compares his plight with that of the black person,
Yes.
that is what I had a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do want to say this. I want to make it perfectly clear. If you're a black person and you're wearing a Donald Trump mugshot, you are a freaking idiot.
I'll go a step further. If you're a person that thinks Charles Barkley is smart, intelligent, has dope wisdom to lay on the world, you are an idiot. If you are a black person who will wear a Biden shirt, you are also an idiot. See, there is a lot of room for idiots. America's full of idiots, such as Chuck, who believes the people to go after about Trump are black people. Black people. What, 10%, 20% of black people, of black men might vote for Trump, something like that? I'm guessing 20, 25%. Only because so many people are so pissed off with Joe Biden and pissed off with people like Chuck trying to tell black people what they can't do. They don't tell any other group what they can't do, but they'll tell us what we can't do. See, I've been doing this media thing for so long. I've heard Chuck say so many dumb things over the years. I remember Chuck was on CNN with Don Lemon when he said black people are the worst people. They treat gay people the worst.
Just makes things worse because it's hard enough being black. And one thing that's always disappointed me, black people treat gay people, we are the worst when it comes to treating gay people. And that's one thing growing up, it really always bothers me. And I want to reach out to you and all my gay friends, all my transgender friends, and tell you, man, I got nothing but love and respect for you. I want you to be you. And I wanted you to know that day, because I understand being black, what it's like being gay, because you get mistreated, and it's really unfortunate and sad and stupid, to be honest with you.
See, I know this about Chuck. Chuck is afraid to challenge white people. He's petrified of white people. Because we all know white people treat gay people the worst. You really think black people stop gay people from getting married? We don't have power like that. You think black people stop gay people from doing anything, buying cakes at that store? Now, remember that there was a big story about gay people wanted to buy a wedding cake and they wouldn't sell it to them. That wasn't a black store. You think it was black people trying to keep gay people out of the military? No. But see, Chuck never has the guts to go after white people or Latino people or Asian people or even gay people. It's always just black people. These black people get to go on these platforms and dump on black people. That's your whole purpose of existing, Chuck. I know it. You know it. We all know it. I'm one of those people that'll tell you that Biden is garbage. Because he is. He always has been. But this is the true test of it, Chuck. And anybody that supports Joe Biden, I got to ask you, why is it that you never got any criticism for Joe Biden? It's like a broken record with these people. Trump is all the bad things you say about Trump. I don't even disagree. Trump used race to get elected. Trump uses race, yes. So do the Democrats. What do you think Biden was doing when he was saying, if you don't vote for black people, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black? That's using race. When he says, I got your back, blacks, he's using race. The Democratic Party used race, they just use it another way. They use it to pretend that they rock with us when they do not. That's why black people have $15 for every $100 that a white person has. For every $100 a white person has, a white family has, a black family has $15. Because the Democrats pretend they use race to scare us to vote for them, and then they do nothing for us. And Chuck wouldn't even deny it. But Chuck, as rich as Chuck is, multiple millionaire, doesn't have the guts to say that. To say the truth. The Democrats are horrible, so are the Republicans. What people don't get is that, in a lot of ways, Republicans hate Trump too. And that's one of the reasons why some people like Trump, is that he's not with the establishment Republicans. Get it? So over and over and over again, I get the same people saying the same stuff. My thing is, if you're going to criticize black people for voting for Trump, you should have the guts to criticize white people for voting for Trump. If you're going to say, oh my God, Trump treats migrants and immigrants so badly, how dare he call them illegal instead of undocumented? Why is it that Latinos support Trump more than black people do? Make that make sense. We have a whole heap of cowards that are carted out here all the time to support Democratic policies. Trump has been a politician for 4 years. You would think that Trump has 40 years of shitting on black people. No, that would be Biden. That would be Biden. Hanging out with his black friend, Jim Clapper. That black friend he pulls out his pocket and uses to win a state. I know Joe, and Joe knows us. Joe's a good man. If that is not some Steven from Django shit, what is? So there's no moral consistency with Chuck. There's no moral consistency with the Democratic Party. Please put down in the comment section below, do you think that Biden has been good for the black community? Please put that down there. I want the whole world to see it, because I'm tired of this. Trump has been in office 4 years, and you got 20 bad things to say about Trump. Biden's been in office for 40, 50 years, and you've got zero bad things to say about Biden? Zero? How can that be? Folks, it doesn't make sense. That's because they don't make sense. That's because they're liars. They're all big, humongous hypocrites and liars. Gail's a liar. Chuck's a liar. All of them are liars. It's like Dave Chappelle said about Trump. Trump is the most honest liar I know. And people that get it know what's up. They know what's up with Trump. Yes, Trump lies, but he also tells truths. Biden just lies, and he very rarely, if ever, tells truths. I don't take Chuck seriously. I wanted to cover this because I want people to really think about what they're saying. They're trying to see, Democrats are petrified. They are scared as hell. They are all scrambling and running around because they cannot believe what's going on. They're about to lose to Donald Trump. That's what's about to happen. And they are petrified. They're like, oh my God, this is going to happen. They built Trump. Trump was their friend. Their friend for 30 years. Trump has been their friend of media. He had the Celebrity Apprentice, a hit show. He hung out with everybody. He got an NAACP award. All these great things. And then when he ran against Hillary, he became the Klan member Trump. There are some of us that see through the BS. I don't support either party, but I support the truth. I support looking at something for what it is and realizing what it is. People like Chuck, as rich as Chuck is, he's still captive. Chuck, you ain't a free man because you can't tell the truth. If you can't get up on your platform and tell the truth, you're not a free man. That goes for Chuck. That goes for Gail. That goes for Oprah. That goes for Joy Reid. That goes for Abby Phillips. That goes for Simone Sanders. That goes for Charlamagne the God. That goes for DJ Envy. That goes for Jess Hilarious. That goes for all of y'all. If you can't get up and tell the truth, man, then what good are you? What good are you? You're cowards. All you are is you're held captive by your audience. You're held captive by the Democratic Party. You're held captive by your wallets. And that's the truth. And that's what it is. The fact that Chuck has a show on CNN says everything we need to know about CNN. They're not to be taken seriously. Anybody out there who takes CNN seriously is a fool. That's an idiot. Anyone who watches the Chuck show and believes Chuck is giving them vital information is a fool. Chuck is a character. That's all Chuck has ever been. Chuck's the same guy back in the 80s that came out and said,
I am not a role model. I'm not paid to be a role model.
That's Chuck. That's what Chuck said. He liked gambling and buying hookers and all this other deviant ways of living his life. Don't have your kids looking at me. Raise your own damn kids. And now all of a sudden now Chuck is Mr. I want to tell the world how to be. And let me say things. 5 years ago, Chuck was throwing black people under the bus for any reason he could find. And now that Chuck has a show, because the CNN and corporate media decide we can make some money off this fool, now he wants to be a Democrat. Now he wants to be somebody, the moral authority, and saying Trump threw black people under the bus. Now, Chuck, you've been throwing black people under the bus for 34 years. Unfortunately for you, Chuck, some black people have a memory longer than a flea. We remember you, Chuck. We know what you're about. Nothing. And I like you, Chuck. I think you're a funny guy. I just don't think that you should be giving people information about politics or about anything serious. You need to go back on the TNT sports show and talk about sports and have fun and say nonsensical things. Stop pretending to be serious about anything. Black people, until don't tell me the Democratic Party is better until the Democratic Party changes the racial wealth gap. That's what needs to happen. Black people having $15 for every $100 white people have says everything I need to hear. Until that changes, until that's $50 for every $100, at least $50, I don't want to hear nothing from the Democrats about what they done did for black people. Not a single word. They couldn't get the voting rights codified. They ain't serious about black people at all. Zero. No seriousness at all. And that's why they gave Chuck a show. Because he is not to be taken seriously. It's like Drink Champs. Nothing serious here. Charlemagne the God. Breakfast Club. Nothing serious there. It's not to be taken seriously. Because they don't want us. The establishment does not want us taken seriously. They don't want anybody taken seriously. They don't want white or black people taken seriously, or Latinos taken seriously, or Asians taken seriously. They don't want you coming on TV to talk about anything important. Poverty, healthcare, ending wars, black people reparations, closing the racial wealth gap. None of the serious shit that needs to be discussed will they give you a platform to talk about. They'll hire Chuck and put him on a show and pay him millions of dollars to say nothing. Put a comment section below for me. Should we be taking Chuck seriously, or should we just laugh and say Chuck is just there for entertainment? You know what I think. Now, I want to hear what you think. I'm Tim Black, and this has been another edition of Calling It Out.